Hello folks, welcome to the second video in the Drogon C++ backend development series. In this video, we will see basic routing in Drogon. Let's create the project, change the directory to the project, change the directory to controllers and create user.yas file. First pound include pragma once, then pound include Drogon. Then create namespace API, and namespace p1. Inside the namespace we will declare user class. You can see the user class is inheriting publicly from template class Drogon HTTP controller with template instantiation with template argument is user itself is the user itself is the argument. It is called CRTP, and we will discuss about CRTP in one separate video. For now, just remember the syntax. You don't even have to remember, you can see the documentation or come back to my video. Let's declare on roadmap. I'm declaring these variables as static because we want to have just one instance of these variables for all the objects. I am using the mutex here because Drogon uses multi-threading to handle request. If you don't know about mutex, I can create separate video about mutex or multi-threading. Let's declare member functions: get info, new user, update user and delete user. These will be called when the HTTP methods are called using API or call, and you just remember the syntax or know how to look for the syntax. These methods take request as first parameter and callback as second parameter, and the query parameters is third parameter. In this video, I am storing the data on roadmap. In the next video, we will learn about MySQL or MariaDB and store data in database and use these APIs to create, read, update and delete data in the database. Now let's declare the constructor. Now let's declare HTTP methods. We are connecting the HTTP methods with the methods declared here and look for the syntax. It's method add, then the member function that we want to call for the specific URL or method. The second parameter here is the pattern in the URL. In this case, the URL will be API/v1/user/id for the get method. Similarly, new user method will be called when the API v1 user name is called. In all these cases, the URL is the same, but there will be different HTTP methods. For different HTTP methods, different member functions are called, is defined here. Get, post, put, delete are 4 HTTP methods. We also call them CROD: create, read, update, delete. Create corresponds to post, read corresponds to get, update corresponds to put, and delete corresponds to delete. Now let's create user.cc file. In this file we include user.h header and also include the logging library. Inside namespace API v1 we define member variables and functions. We actually initialize member variables and define member functions. First initialize users, then user mutex, then next ID. I am initializing next ID with 1 because the first user will have user ID 1. Then it will be incremented in each insertion operation. Let's define the constructor. I am just logging that user controller is initialized. Then I will define the member functions we declared previously. The first one is getInfo. You can see the function signature. It's const Drogon : HTTP request ptr ampersand REQ comma std function void const Drogon : HTTP response ptr ampersand callback and int user ID. The function is const because it does not modify any data. Let's log the mutex. Then find the user with user ID, and we create JSON value result. If we find a user with the user ID, we send the response. We actually create the JSON with field user ID and name. If we don't find the user with user ID, we create JSON with field error user not found. Let's send the response using callback function. You can see the syntax. Now let's define new user function. You can see the signature. The first parameter is request, second parameter is callback, and the third parameter is query parameter. Let's log the mutex. Then initialize id variable with next id and increment next id. And I am inserting the username with id as key in the honored map. Then I am creating JSON response. So JSON value with fields user id, name, and message. The message user created successfully. Then I am creating the response. Drogon : HTTP response : new HTTP JSON response result. And I am setting the status code as K201 created. And I will send the response with callback function. Let's define update user function. The first parameter is request, second parameter is callback, and third parameter is the query parameter, user ID. In this case, we have header and data in the API call. So we will parse that first. Let's log the mutex. I will find the user with user ID. If I find the user ID, and if the data has name field, I will create JSON. I will actually update the user and then create the JSON. The response JSON has fields user ID, name, and message. Let's send the response using callback function. Before that, handle the else case. If there is no member name, then the JSON will have error field with missing name field in request, and if we can't find the user with user ID, the JSON will have field error with value user not found. Let's finally send the response using callback function. Let's define delete user member function. The first parameter is request, the second parameter is callback, and the third parameter is the query parameter, in this case user ID. Let's log the mutex first. Create JSON value result, and we will try to delete or erase the user from our roadmap. If we delete successfully, we will create response with value user deleted successfully, and if we can't find the user, then we will create JSON with field error and value user not found. Now let's send the response using callback function. In this case, I am running CMake inside controllers. You should run CMake inside build folder. I am doing this to run client ID. If you have not set up client ID, remind me in the comments and I will make a separate video about that. You can just run CMake and compile the program in the build folder. If you don't know how to build using CMake, you can check my last video. Let's fix the error. Let's run the client ID linter with user.cc file too. Let's fix the errors. Let's run client ID again. Let's see the format of our code, because we have run client ID, the linter. See, the format is nice. Let's check user.cc file too. See, the format is nice. Now let's run make to build the project. See, the project is building. project is built. Now run the project. Now let's check the APIs using call first post method to create user named Saugat. See, it worked. Then get method to get user with user ID 1. See, it worked. Then put method, it has header and data. See, it worked too. Then finally delete method. It worked too. It's the end of the video for today. Let's see you in the next video.